In this video, I'm going to discuss Ludwig Wittgenstein's philosophy, especially his picture theory of meaning. Ludwig Wittgenstein was an Austrian philosopher who initiated linguistic turn in the West. So his early life's philosophical insight is a bit different from his later philosophical thought. So let's begin his picture theory of meaning. Although he is not claiming that he is giving any theory in his tractatus, he is not espousing any theory as such. However, later thinkers they interpreted his early life's philosophical ideas as picture theory of meaning. So Tractatus was a very celebrated book, and it has been composed in a very peculiar manner. So it is basically a series of remarks numbered in a decimal notation, and in this book he is trying to espouse realism from linguistic standpoint. And actually this book actually tries to excavate the logical structure of thought, language, world. So that is why later on his philosophical thought of early life has been termed as a picture theory of meaning, because in his early life he's of the opinion that the function of language is to picture reality. So the representation is the essence of language. So let's understand what is picture first. Picture, when we utter the word picture, spatial picture comes to our mind. Spatial picture like photography, sculpture, model, these are all spatial picture. Spatial picture that is that which occupy a certain space. A non-spatial picture are those pictures which do not occupy any space. So non-spatial picture, for example, a proposition, sentence. These sentence propositions, they represent reality, but they do not occupy space, so they are non-spatial pictures. So Wittgenstein is incorporating all sorts of pictures that represent reality. So I'm going to discuss the salient points of picture theory of meaning. Number one, the elements of a picture corresponds with the elements in reality. The elements of a picture are placed in a specific way. Imagine a picture in a photography or something. The elements of a picture are placed in a determinate way, but could have been placed in many different ways. The objects in reality have many different possibilities, but actualize only one set of them. Think about a picture. You can think about anything, a model, a photography, or a proposition. So there are certain elements in a certain picture. So the elements are structured in a determinate way, but there are many different possibility of their being structured in many different ways. All right. So on the one hand, the elements of a picture are placed in a determinate way, but could have been placed in many different ways. On the other hand, the elements in reality, that is the objects in reality, have many different possibilities, but actualize only one set of them. That means the objects in reality are arranged in a specific way out of many different possibilities. So at this point, I would like to introduce a very important point in Wittgenstein's philosophy. This one is pictorial form, and another one is logical space. Okay. Uh, let's first discuss logical space. Logical space is a realm of everything, okay, that are logically possible. Logical space is the realm of everything that are logically possible. Facts exist in logical space. So some items in logical space are true, whereas some items in logical space are false. True and false items both constitute logical space. So what is the relation? What is the relation of logical space to his picture theory of meaning? While we are saying that objects in reality are structured in a determinate way. The cat is on the mat. Cat and mat are structured or are placed in a specific way. This is what is called the fact, the existence of state of affair. But they could have been placed in many different ways. Like, instead of saying the cat is on the mat, we can also say the cat is under the mat. It could have been the case that the cat is under the mat in spite of being on the mat. The cat is left to the mat, like that. Many different possibilities of the objects combining together. So the objects in reality are structured in a determinate way, but could have been structured in many different ways. So fact is the existence of state of affair. So fact is the actualization of one of the possibilities. This fact exists in logical space. Okay, out of all logical possibilities, one has been actualized, and that is what is called fact. And on the other hand, elements of a picture, this we are talking about the world, about reality. Now about linguistic counterpart, like picture or linguistic or any picture, maybe a linguistic picture or in a model or photograph, like that. So a picture have certain element that are also structured in a determinate way, but could have been structured in many possible ways. So when we are saying that elements could have been structured in many possible ways, that total possibilities of structuring are called pictorial form. The possibilities of the elements of picture, the way they could have been placed, all the totality of all the possibilities are called pictorial form. So once we understood these two concepts, pictorial form and logical space, now it would be very easier to understand his picture theory of meaning. So first we understood picture can be spatial and non-spatial, and we understood logical space. Out of varieties of possibilities, fact is the actualization of one set of them, and picture, out of pictorial form, in picture there is a one determinate way in which the elements are related to each other, are placed in a specific way. Now, a very important point is that the correspondence consists in the form, not in the structure. What does it mean? We introduced pictorial form just now. Form means, see, the form correspondence consists in form, not in the structure. Structure means the determinate way in which the elements of picture are connected or are combined. Okay, the determinate way. And in the case of reality, the determinate way, the objects are structured in a determinate way. That is called structure. The objects are placed in a determinate way. This is called the structure of fact. Structure of picture, structure of fact. This is structure. So correspondence consists not in the structure but in the form. What is form? Form is the totality of all possible ways the elements would have been placed. For example, I said cat is on the mat. Wittgenstein is not providing any example. So cat is on the mat. The cat is on the mat. This is a picture. It's a proposition. So proposition, just we mentioned before that it is also a kind of picture, a logical picture. In reality, cat is on the mat. Okay, the cat is on the mat. So the word cat and word mat, these are elements in the picture. This could have been placed or structured in many different ways. Cat is under the mat, cat is on the mat, cat is right to the mat, cat is left to the mat. So like that, the word cat, the word mat could have been structured in many different ways, and the totality of the all possibilities constitute the form of picture, is called pictorial form. Okay, and on the other hand, when talking about reality, the object cat and the object mat, they also could have been placed in many different ways in reality. This is what is called the form of the fact. Okay, so the correspondence consists form of objects. Form of objects. So correspondence consists in form, not in structure. So there must be the correspondence in form, not in terms of structure. So there is correspondence correspondence between the ranges of possibilities of the elements of picture on the one hand and the ranges of possibilities of the objects in reality. This constitute the correspondence or picturing. So let's sum up Wittgenstein's early philosophical ideas of picture theory of meaning. That picture can be spatial and non-spatial. So proposition is logical picture because it shares the same logic with fact. Okay, so fact exists in logical space. So fact is the existence of state of affair. That means out of varieties of possibilities of objects, they only actualize one set of them, that is called fact. Okay, so the elements of picture corresponds with the elements or the objects in reality, and the correspondence consists in the ranges of the possibilities of the elements of a picture, and on the other hand, ranges of possibilities of the objects in reality. Possibilities means what properties and relations an object can enter into. This constitute the form of object. Okay, and what properties and relations can enter into, this constitute in terms of linguistic or in terms of picture, elements of picture, these constitute the pictorial form. So correspondence consists in form, and objects across different possibilities, objects remain same, but the total possibilities also remain same, but actualize in different possible worlds, they actualize different possibilities. Okay, so this is in short Wittgenstein's idea of representation theory of meaning.